Well, welcome. Episode 10.
Yes. We're here. Double digits, baby. Yes.
Yeah. Rell's become,
you know,
our token Dominican.
Yo, I'm just doing it. Let's
it's
do
party
it,
homes.
Oh, man.
That record
Episode
is just
10.
blown up.
Episode 10.
Episode 10. We've
Double
made
digits.
it. Big episode. What the fuck are we talking about?
Is this a milestone for us?
You know, we well, let's get into our recent events.
Yeah.
You had your Mag Park 4-year anniversary, 4 times platinum.
4
at
times platinum,
Avenue
baby.
in Hollywood.
Yeah.
How was that?
It was amazing, honestly. It was one of those just fun nights full of good people. Huge shout out to the Tao group.
Mhm.
Nice.
Shout out to Deb.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Greg, Tyler, and all the family that was involved with getting this night together. Shout out to Ian, who was behind the scenes and really got this thing going. We had
Ian
a
Fletcher.
nice dinner that 2 of you couldn't make it to because y'all were laying fucking Costco, fucking hardwood laminate.
Listen,
Look,
man. Listen.
When I found out why, I was like, man,
Listen.
I get it. No, I get it.
Wifey duties.
I get
I'm
it.
like,
No, I
listen,
understand.
you know,
I understand.
I tried.
This is my biggest, gig for the year. That's all.
I owed you one because you didn't come to the engagement party.
So Mickey's got 2 birthdays.
Yeah.
And Mickey's got 2 birthdays in a year now.
Yeah.
It's his Mag Park birthday
And his
and
actual birthday.
his birthday.
I made it to his actual
You better make
birthday.
it to one of them.
I made it to his actual
I give
birthday.
credit, yeah.
Joe
So-
didn't come to the actual birthday, so he had to make
swap.
the,
We'll swap.
So we swapped.
Okay.
It's a busy weekend. It's
Yeah.
fair. All right. I'm equally not happy with either of you for the year. But but we had a great dinner.
Yeah.
Nice.
Didn't even get to really eat dessert. It just came out and we had to just put it on the gram.
Sam and I hung back for a little
Oh,
bit
you
and
did?
smashed.
Come
Yeah,
on.
we were eating because there was 3 trays of it. So as we were going across the table, we were picking as we were
Dude,
going.
we got all the fixings. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was dope.
Freaking, it was a great dinner. Shot over to Avenue.
Yep.
Small
door.
walkover next door, and shout out to Edsky, who always does an amazing job.
Nice.
I mean, if you want to hear, a DJ that just knows how to set the vibe or set the room,
Yeah.
Edsky's one of those dudes that, man.
Yo, Edsky gave me my first real big opportunity at. Remember my house?
Oh, of course. yo.
Edsky had me open for him, and
Yeah.
I was like, that was a big op. That was back in 09 or 10.
Yeah, my house.
And then because I did that, they didn't. Someone bailed last second, so they asked me to headline, which was a big deal.
And I think,
Remember that?
I think me and Andre showed up to that one.
You did, and
then
DJ.
And DJ. And I think that was the day that I experienced some shit in Hollywood where we had 4 girls coming with us. 4 girls, and they didn't want to let the girls in.
Hold on, Mike.
They
We
didn't
got to
want-
stop for a second. Finish your story.
Go ahead. I'm intrigued.
They didn't want to let the girls in because one of them was a little heavy set, right?
I'm the heavy set friend, by the way.
Listen,
I know.
it was fucking mind blowing to me and Andre. Because think about it,
The door guy was cool with you guys.
he was cool with
because
us.
he's worked with us in the past.
You know what I'm saying? He was cool with us, and we at that time we really didn't experience it. For the most part, it's like when Joe walks in with guys. Not only were they guys, they were niggas.
Mm.
So he was like, "Yo," he was like, "Oh, you guys are more than welcome to come in and whatever." But I was like, "Yo, you don't want to let the girls in?" Nah, man. Listen, I can let them 3 in, but I can't let her in. And I'm like, damn. So I remember that day. I was just like,
the craziest part is the big girl was like, "What the fuck? Why? What's she didn't know why."
She was oblivious.
All
to
she
it.
knew that she couldn't get in, and her friend knew, and her friend was just like, she didn't want to tell her,
But she's
Because
good. But
you're
then
the
listen,
big girl.
you know what? Her friends are good people because in that scenario, I would have seen a lot of girls be like, "Listen, girl, you gotta go home. You're gonna go into the club."
Right.
They all
Cutthroat.
bounced. You know what I mean? They all
Darwinism.
were like, "Yo, if you're not gonna let our home girl in, we all gonna leave."
Yeah.
So we understood it. We were like, "Hey, cool. We gonna go inside though."
Yeah.
So we went inside. We saw Joe spin. He killed it, and we had a good time.
Do you think that scenario happens less now because of social media?
No.
You think it still happens?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they want to
Yeah.
if they want to be dicks.
I think it's even more now because of social media.
They're also sending a message to everyone in line at the moment.
Yeah.
Right.
We don't care who you are. Not Chantel Jeffries, homegirl from the YouTube show that Ridiculousness.
Yeah.
What's her name?
Chanel West Coast.
She went through that at Poppy and made a big scene. She's like, you know who I am, and she had a gang of girls with her, and they're like, we don't care.
Yeah.
I think they're
really
trying
don't give a
to
shit.
in that moment, they're trying to make a statement. Also, letting people know, yo, spend some money and we'll let you in. We don't care who you are. We got everybody
Right.
we need in here.
Yeah.
Right.
But
Crazy.
back to Etsky.
Oh yeah, no, Edski's just, one of those dudes that just knows how to set the room, set the vibe. So walking into that, it was really just at that point all on me to perform, and so
Nice.
Easy money.
Easy money. No,
Mike made easy work of it. He did his thing.
No, it's funny because like preset, and I guess it's good to give you guys a little inside scoop to our listeners. Like, for the sake of conversation, this is probably like one of the better venues, if not the best venue I've done in quite some time in regards to just status. And so the opportunity was, of course, like a big thing, and the night was a big thing. And just going into it, I've been there plenty of times, hanging out with Dre Sinatra, Just Incredible, and just like listening to their sets and, getting an idea of what everyone's approach is to it, while also trying to keep in mind what the venue wants to do.
Okay.
And so going into it, I honestly overthought the shit out of it. I was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do. Like, and I definitely like put out more confidence than how I might have felt preset. And then as the time went on, and a couple, Casamigos and pineapples, like you're like, okay, like let me not think about this so much. Let's just have a good time. I had put together a little crate, kind of based on what we talked about before with just stuff I played in the past, and then just kind of, there was like different kind of vibes, and so to me it was just like either kind of vibe records that weren't quite, getting you to the pinnacle, and then there's just that like, all right, it's go time crate, and then a little bit of things to spice it up.
We've covered this in one or two of the episodes, but
Yeah.
like Avenue, like this crowd was the epitome of just hanging out and not dancing. And so I'm looking at the crowd, and I'm like getting a feel from what Mike's doing, and I'm like, all right, like let's see how he does with this, because they're not showing any love. They're not even acknowledging him. So as the night went on, they really started to vibe out and feel it. And I thought you were there from jump, but it's just the crowd. They're in their own world. Everyone's doing their own thing.
And it's tough to gauge that because it is a room full of tables.
Yep.
And so you kind of can see what's going on to your right, which was our table.
Yeah.
So of course they're vibing out because it's our
your
party.
people's.
You know what I mean? And then shout out to Thomas Bryant and the homie Jermaine, main event. They bought a table pretty much adjacent to us.
Yep.
And some of the wizards showed up.
Nice.
Bradley Beal and a
Dope.
couple other guys. And
Okay, you
so
got some ballers.
they were jumping. They were having a good time. And then on the other side, you got to deal with like the cool people. And there was a couple group of girls. Like I can remember each little set that what was working for them, what wasn't. And then at that point, it just came down to, I understood that a little more mic work. When the presentations came out, I was on top of whatever the names were. And all of those factors just really go into keeping the energy and making them want to dance,
Yeah.
I knew I felt pretty confident about the overall night when like I didn't play Lizzo was like my 95th record. And like I held on to that, what felt like a good girl record for that venue, at the time. So then I was like, okay, cool. Like I didn't have to like utilize that. I'm still here. And I could still now, let's go down even another little journey, of like throwbacks and whatever else towards the end of the night and sing along records and whatever. So
Nice.
it was a fun night. I had a great time. And, there's a little win that I could be back.
Nice.
On a regular night. So that's
I'll be
fun.
there for that one.
Okay. I'm gonna hold you to that.
Yeah, I'll be there for that
If
one.
you're not booked.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So
Or installing laminate.
Laminate
or
flooring
unless
somewhere.
you're
Listen, Spiffy and I about to start a business doing that shit. I'm trying to tell y'all. So
business on business.
Hey man, listen.
I feel you.
Multiple revenue streams.
You
Joseph
just came back from Vegas.
Yeah. Marquee Dayclub, Tao Nightclub a few times, and Tao Beach. A lot of fun. I don't know if you guys saw my stories.
Oh yeah, we saw.
Oh god.
Listen, I
jumped in the DM about the conversation.
Did. I said topic on the podcast.
Yeah. So there was a girl trying to get in the DJ booth, and at the time Chucky was DJing, and Chucky always welcomes girls in the DJ booth, and I was like, it's out of my hands. So when I got in there, she made her way in because we were telling her no. There was a couple other guys in the booth with me. We were telling her no. She made her way in, and I'm like, all right, let's just see what happens. And then she just like, but before she went in, she was like, she showed me her phone. And normally when they show you the phone, they want to request a song, right?
Yeah.
And she says, please let me in. I'm from Ireland. I was like, what does that have to? Oh, why didn't you say so? Come on in. Like,
Ireland?
No,
Oh,
yeah.
man.
Oh, Ireland. Oh, man. Should have said that from jump. But no, so I'm thinking, all right, she's clearly a foreigner. She doesn't really, all she knows, I'm starting to gather, all she knows is what she sees on Instagram. Mm-hmm. And then she gets in the booth and she wants to stand next to me. I'm like, all right, man. So then she starts doing the hand waving thing and going to the beat. And and then she's like, come on, wave your hands with me. And like a real thick accent. I was like, no, you need to like stop, chill, you know? So then she just keeps insisting and doing that. And she's like, come on, you know? And I'm just like, look, you got to get out of here at this point because you're bumping my elbows, man. You're bumping my elbows. You're in the way. And she just looked at like, so then my friends got her out of there. Yeah. And actually the sound tech, the guy that was running the booth, he got her out of there. Okay. She slithered her way back in like 20 minutes later. And I was just like, fuck, man. So she kept doing what she was doing. And so it really hit me like, yo, like girls see the shit on Instagram and they think I want to be in that booth. Yeah. Not just that booth in particular, but like, so it may raise a question like, why do girls always want to be in the booth? Like they just, like Mike and I were going back and forth about it in DM. I'm like, is this the end all be all for women? They have to be in the booth. Like you got tables, dance floor, you know, there's just like certain areas of the club where it's like, yo, this would be a dope shot, or nah, I want to be in that booth. I want to let people know, people that I don't know. I want to let them know I'm killing this shit, you know? And guys do it too. Guys definitely do it. I forgot at Marquee Dayclub, some guy was like, yo, can I come up and get video? I thought I just want video from the booth. And it was like the end of the party. So it's like, all right, whatever. And he ends up putting his arm around me doing this whole thing with the, selfie. I was like, oh shit. And Spider Tech was like, yo, get out of here. Like you giving you inch, you take a yard. Get the fuck out of here. So that was like, that's a question I proposed on Instagram. And what was your response?
I gotta look at my DM. I had a couple points of view.
So then the next day, I'm DJing with Scene, and I just got done, and I'm talking to Joseph Getright and someone else outside the booth, and there was like there's 3 people outside the booth, and if you know the Tao booth, only 2 people can kind of hang on the backside of the booth. Yeah, and there was 3. So I'm in the booth trying to talk to these guys without being outside the booth and like having them to look down on me and talk to me or bend down. It's like just an awkward situation if I was out the booth. So I'm in the booth and I'm leaning over having a conversation with Joseph, and then seeing while he's playing music, he like turns a booth down and says, so I saw your post about girls, doing stuff in the booth and wanting to be in the booth to take pictures and all that. But guys do it too, right? So I'm trying to figure out, why are you still in the booth? and instantly, I'm like, cloud chasing, duh. That was my other rant on Instagram. Like, we're all cloud chasing. We want to post pictures with people that have more followers than us, so we like get our engagement up. So I'm like, you know what? Fucking, I'm cloud chasing from this point. I'm owning it. Hey man, shit. So then Shaseen started laughing, and he was like, yeah, I'm waiting for you to put your arm around me and do the whole selfie thing. I'm like, that's another level of cloud chasing. I ain't trying to do that with
I'm not there yet.
Ain't quite there yet. Yeah. There's a K behind my follower name.
Shout out to Scene. He's dope.
Gotta love him for that.
Damn. Yeah.
No, I was saying, would you have I had asked you first. I'm like, would you have reacted like that if you were single? Yeah. And then you said it didn't matter. That wasn't the part of it. Right. And then I think the real takeaway moment though was it also plays a role on how big the booth is. Sure. Yeah. Sure. Right. And so I was saying that I remember friends used to tell me this like ratio, like the hotter she is, the crazier she is, or the more she could get away with. Mm-hmm. Well, the smaller the booth, the hotter the girl has to be to get in. There you go. In some forms, right? As far as like the venue, the look, right? Because if I got like my homie, and let's just say he's my size, you shouldn't be in the booth. Like, sorry. Like, just based off of there's not enough space in here for us to be both being here. Joe, you're welcome. You kind of fit everywhere.
In there, I can sit up on the thing,
hang out. I'm in the corner. We could capture a photo, for content on the pod. You know what I mean? But like, if it's just like you're just there, like it's like you guys look uncomfortable.
And so back to Mike's point, like I think it does hold weight when the girl is hotter.
Yeah.
But that's never been my thing to have girls in the booth, even though the club kind of wants you to, because it makes everything looks good. You know, it's like a decoration.
It's an image thing.
And I gave him the example, like when I was single, I DJ'd in Dallas, and it was a small booth, and probably about the size of Tao's booth, but just like lengthwise. Avenue, yeah. And I saw all these girls in the booth beforehand because it was a college night and there was a college DJ. And I was like, so I told Secure, I said, if any of those girls try to make it up, or any girls, kick them out. Like, the booth's way too small for 5 girls to be in there. So he was like, got you. So I'm DJing, everything's clear. The security walks away to go handle something else. These girls, boom, instantly make their way in the booth. I was like, fuck, all right, just chill. You know, let's see what happens. You know, I always give benefit of that. All right, I'll give you a chance. You know, so then this girl is standing next to me on my left, and she says, "Can you just scoot over a little?" And I'm like, "I'm sorry, what?
Wait,
I'm sorry,
wait.
What was that?"
Time out.
And
She
she's like,
told
"No,
you
yeah,
while you're
I'm DJing.
To move
I'm
over
playing the
a little
music.
bit.
I'm booked and paid to play music in that booth."
Hey, she told you to move over a little bit.
And I was like, "I'm sorry, excuse me?" And she's like, "No, it's cool. Just a little, just a little bit." And I was like, "All right, they all gotta go. Get them the fuck out of here." Right? And the security was like, "Oh, come on." I was like, "You fucking crazy? You tell the DJ to move?"
Yo, hey man, shit.
Move, bitch.
I'm not mad at her. She got some balls.
You know, and this was before Instagram. This was before. I mean, Twitter was a thing, but you weren't doing it for the clout. You were just, I mean, not on social media club, but
Facebook Twitter clout.
But no one had a phone. I don't remember any of
the presence just being there, like people in the crowd seeing her.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Whatever. But it was probably one of the funniest DJ stories I have with girls in the booth. Like, can you just move over a little? Like, no, it's cool. Oh, just a little.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was I in your way?
Yeah. Right. Excuse. Let me move out of your way. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Did you want to get to the CDJ? Because
oh, you gotta plug in a USB. You gonna play your track?
You gonna do a next transition?
You charge your phone. No, they didn't know you can charge your phone from the CDJ at that time. That was a secret.
Life hack.
But yeah, so Tao was Tao Marquee Dayclub, Tao Beach, just incredible. Spun with him on Saturday. That was a lot of fun.
Dope.
Yeah, man. It was a good Vegas weekend.
Nice.
Had a situation with an escort.
Nice.
That was fun. You know, game recognized game.
I see that.
Yeah.
I saw that. Yeah. Nice.
Y'all
talk about a collaboration?
You know what? I was like kind of off duty in that moment, and she was like, she followed me. She took my phone and followed me. Oh, not my phone. She had me put my information in her phone, and I was like, all right. So then I just kept talking to my friend.
When you walked away, did she unfollow you?
Well, I just kept talking to my friend, and she got the vibe like he ain't really interested. I mean, she thought it was my table. I was at Chucky's table. She's, cloud chasing right here. I was at Chucky's table. She thought it was my table. So she, took my info down, walked away. I checked my phone 30 minutes. I didn't even check, someone follows you like, oh, yeah, they follow right in front of you. I didn't even check the follow back. So I checked my phone a half hour later. I'm like, yo, she unfollowed me. Like, what the fuck? I was offended. Like, yo, can I at least look at your pictures and send it to my girlfriend so we can have fun with this? But she had like the fake booty, fake lips, fake boobs. Like, she had the whole, her and her friend.
Damn.
The whole 9. And I'm just like, look, man, I'm off duty right now. I ain't trying to teach you or coach you or give you any type of information on how to raise your clout as a escort. But
damn.
I'm single. What's their Instagram?
I don't know. I wish I could. Maybe I should have. Maybe she felt offended,
right?
And the funny is, she did a lap, came back around. Chucky brought her in the booth because he's into girls like that. I
he's
guess.
Single. I'm assuming
he's single. Yeah. So he sent them back to not my table, but the table I was at. But I was already at the table. But she got the vibe. All right, he ain't the one. He ain't the money man. Mm-hmm. He's off duty. Let me mess with this. She's just the opening DJ. We want the headliner. We want Chucky's got the money.
Got you.
Well, it's episode 10.
Yep.
Right, big episode for us. First checkpoint, if you will, because we got many more episodes to come. So many. And we've been asking, or actually, Dainja and Rell, I think, might have put a question.
Well, we've been asking in previous episodes, but we did
true.
Post a question.
So people have always sent us questions as they've been listening to the podcast, which we welcome all of them, as well as the smoke.
Yep. We want the smoke, but we haven't gotten
No
any
smoke.
We have no smoke, so
Especially me.
maybe we're doing something right.
We did get smoke, but it was
That wasn't smoke.
stupid.
Fucking,
It was
Mini
trolling.
Cooper Hot Wheels smoke.
Yeah.
But we got a couple questions from our listeners, and we're gonna do our best to get through as many as possible.
Yeah.
We're gonna give you our brief kind of answers.
Yep.
Without
Brief
sticking,
but impactful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some of these questions are gonna be the first time some of us hear them. So even though they've been in our notes for 24 hours,
Yeah.
it's been a
Or
long
longer.
24 hours.
Longer.
Longer.
just for the sake of, I got jumped by Hornets yesterday, and not Charlotte,
They
but,
from
like
Charlotte.
actual Hornets. And then I also was dealing with a false report of a shooting at the Topanga Mall.
Oh yeah, I saw that
Yeah.
about that.
So it was a long day.
Yep.
But we got some questions, and let's get to them.
So this first question, we definitely want to be brief with it because this will be our next episode topic.
Oh,
What to do in a relationship when the partner is jealous? How do you explain the environment that she needs you to trust you and all that? Rell? I don't know if Rell's the right guy for this because it seems like he's in like the perfect relationship, man.
I'm
And his
thankful.
girlfriend's a
Listen,
DJ.
I'm thankful for my
Okay, so
relationship.
Mickey,
I'm thankful. No, let me shine for a second. You know what I mean? I'm thankful for my
All right,
relationship.
get your
But
rocks
speaking-
up.
But speaking of that,
give her roses.
But yeah,
give her
but I'm
roses.
saying
Give
that
her her
because-
flowers.
Speaking
Yeah.
of that, because we were talking about DJ booths, it was actually I actually gotten booked because of her. So my girl is a dancer. She was a dancer before she became a DJ. So whenever she hangs out with me in the DJ booth, she's always dancing.
Yeah.
She
Choreography dancer. Let's clarify,
let's get that
Yeah,
right.
'cause
A
they're in
paid
their own little world.
choreographed dancer, like she's
every
not,
DJ sets a step
Yeah.
it up moment.
Because
You know
I
what I'm
dated
saying?
different kinds of dancers.
Yeah, no, we're not talking about
Yeah.
with all due
Mickey and I,
respect. With all due respect to those dancers.
No,
You know what I'm
100%.
saying?
Yeah.
She's a professional dancer. She's trained.
Yeah.
She's
Define
been dancing since she was younger.
Hurry up, let's get on this topic.
So all her friends, majority of her female friends that she invites out to come to the gigs are dancers as well. So I'll have them, and I got girls dancing in the booth as opposed to like having their phones
Are they
out,
all white?
being on their phone. No, they're not all not white.
Okay. Would have been even better.
Yo, man, bro. I'm telling her, I was like, yo,
Black
we need to be
DJ
cool.
with all white
girls.
Oh man,
Listen,
Is this a music video?
that could be a good and bad thing for me, man.
Yeah.
That could be a good
True,
and bad thing for
true.
me. So I try to balance it out a little bit. You know what I
Look at
mean?
this
Like,
man in
listen,
deep water.
you're
Keep
right.
going.
Yeah, I'm going with you. Try to get me fucked up out here.
I just want to see how perfect his relationship is.
Bro forgot where he was. The microphone in front of you.
Anyways, I say all that because
Right.
there are some positive things. If you got the right type of female in your booth, it could be a good look, like you were saying. If the chicks are bad and you got them in there, then cool. If they're moving, they're dancing, they're not on their phone and they're doing it.
Yeah.
Like I have bookers come up to me and be like, "Yo, who are those chicks?" And I'm like, "Oh, that's my girl and that's all her friends." And I
That's the
introduce them
Rellettes.
or whatever. And I'm like, you know what I mean? And they be like, "Damn. All right, yo, can you do this spot? Can you do that spot?" Yeah, I got you. No problem, man. So it worked in my favor. Anyways,
Maybe I shouldn't kick
say
the
that.
girls out of the booth.
Listen, but again, they got to be the right type of girls
Yeah.
because this shit,
Did you say the white type of girl?
right.
You say white.
R,
Okay.
You say
R,
white. Go ahead. You correct
R.
yourself.
right. Doing this shit don't look good. Like
Right.
they're like,
Right.
come on, man. Like
Yeah,
we don't
yeah,
want to see that shit. But if you see girls up there having a good time, that looks better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, it's an energy builder too,
Exactly.
right? If
Yeah.
you look up to a DJ and he's like
And he's just standing
looking
there.
like he's fucking building an Excel sheet, like that's just boring. Like,
Yeah.
putting together a Powerpoint.
right? Like, oh, let me put that there.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Anyways, back to your question. Yeah, I mean,
Give
just
Jen her
off the bat, you know what I mean. He said if the person is jealous, there's your problem right there. You're saying your significant other is jealous. Like it's not going to work out. She's not going to understand it. You can explain it. You can give her the textbook reason of why, why you're in the club and why it needs to be like that, or why it's a good look for certain people to be in the booth, or
Right.
whatever the scenario is. If your significant other is jealous, it's going to go one in the ear and out the other. They're going to believe what they want to believe. They're going to see what they want to see. And
So maybe reevaluate the relationship.
exactly.
before
Let's
you
start.
keep it
Let's
moving.
start there. Let's
All right.
start
Well,
there.
before you fucking, we're the reason why people are single this next
Hey, man, listen.
holiday season.
Again, my opinion.
Hey,
My
well,
opinion.
Cuffing season is
Cuffing
around
My
the
season
corner.
is
opinion.
around
Yeah,
the corner.
summertime is ending, so
Yeah.
Right.
you better figure it out.
That's where big boys start to get popping. We warm.
Exactly.
Mike, what's your 2 cents?
I've had some experience in this department specifically. I've had a girlfriend who's actually made me delete my Instagram.
Yeah, I remember that.
We're talking extreme right now.
I had to go through that whole process, but
because that whole time I thought he got hacked because that's what he was telling
that's
people.
definitely what I told people. And
I was like, damn, that's fucked
and
up.
come after me? Just for full transparency, the one time I've ever missed a gig was because there was another woman that they were conflicted
I remember that too.
And Rell was booked for that gig. And it was the one time ever in my DJ career I didn't show up, and it had to do with some self-esteem and
money in Rell's pocket.
Yeah, whatever. Longer set. Good for him. I'm happy for him. But honestly, in all seriousness, right? It's like kind of like a sensitive topic for guys because at the time I didn't know what to do. Clearly, I just kind of went with, hey, you're right, I'm wrong. Like, let me figure this shit out, right? And I think that had to do with lots of deeper issues, and we can go into that in the next pod. But
absolutely.
I think it just comes down largely to communication and understanding each other and understanding the goals, right? Like, if you're a working DJ and your job is to provide, not only for yourself, a family, or for your significant other, to better yourselves, like, you got to understand the environment that you went into.
Yeah.
Also, if you were DJing prior to the relationship, you knew what you were getting yourself into.
Exactly.
Like, so that's a big one. If you just started DJing, then maybe that's a different conversation. But, if this is your income, man, like, you got to just speak up and communicate and understand that, look, that's all there. But at the end of the day, am I coming home to you? Yes. If you're not, that's a different problem. Then I know why she's jealous or he's jealous. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I think it just comes down to communication, and dealing with a jealous person just comes down to, maybe find different ways to reinforce their confidence in you. Come home with some flowers, come home with some food, little tidbits there.
Mm-hmm.
Leave a note somewhere around the crib, when you leave. Little sappy shit.
Leave a note saying, "Yo, make sure the dishes are done." By 12.
No, that's how you get some bullshit. That's how you get.
I'm sorry, it was right there. I had to I wouldn't do that, but I had to do that.
Yeah, if you wouldn't come home,
I wouldn't do what I had to say.
If they found the note, you wouldn't have to come home.
Hey, babe, miss you. Make sure the dishes are done. All right. So my quick 2 cents is know what triggers your girlfriend. Figure out why she reacts this way, because it's a reaction.
Or boyfriend. We do have women listeners.
Yeah, 100%. You got to dig a little deep into what makes her tick and why she reacts this way. Because if it's a habit, there's something the way I see it with any relationship, business or whatever, and stuff starts to go south and it becomes a habit, you got to there's something that's making them react that way or something that's making them tick a specific way. Dig a little deep and figure it out. It probably stems back to, when they were a teenager, they went through something, or when they were a kid, or when they were a baby and they don't even realize it, And that ultimately makes your relationship better because, that's what it is. I'm aware. I know what it is. Now I can move forward. And once you recognize it, you got to live in the present moment. Like, all right, you're going to go do your thing. Do your thing. Like, she has to trust you. And and I don't mean to point the finger at the guy or the girl saying it's their fault, figure out what makes them tick. But you have to figure out what you're doing that makes her tick, that sets it off.
You have to take
and
your
so you have to
responsibility.
understand, maybe I shouldn't say that or do that or say it like that because it triggers something. It always comes back to you. Like, I believe we live in a world where we get what we manifest.
Exactly.
Shit happens to you. Someone screws you over. You manifest that. You created that in your world. So, and it's easy to say, nah, he fucked me. Or he did me wrong, or she's shady. Well, you brought that into your world.
Yeah.
Like, if we can get a little bit deep into it, you brought that into your world. You brought that into your existence. You wanted that one way or another, even though you can tell me I didn't want this.
Take responsibility.
So take responsibility and understand what you're doing that makes him or her react this way. And also, at the end of the day, in a club, when a girl's requesting a song, she's got to get in your ear.
Yeah.
So it's like it looks sketchy.
Yeah.
It looks suspicious. So you got to understand, like, he or she has to understand that, look, it's just a song request.
Yeah.
I'm not reacting to anything. But they have to have that confidence in you to where they don't even think twice about it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, good with that?
Yeah.
Listeners, you're good? Good?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, okay, this one, let's go back to your Avenue set, Mike. The question is how to make sure the crowd is rocking with you during your set. When they're not dancing,
Yeah.
what would you do to get a gauge on where they're at?
I would just pay attention to the movements, the reactions. Like at the end of the day, like specifically in a venue like Avenue, there isn't much of a dance floor. There's like a little space in front of the DJ booth, but you're either at a table or at the bar. And so you got to just kind of look around, keep your head up, right? Like don't get stuck in what you're doing. And I had a couple of those moments, but on that night, but you know, even applying it to other venues, I think just getting on the mic, talking to people, you know, calling out promoters for being sober, like you know what I mean?
How's
like
that work in your favor?
Oh, it works great because then you force them to like start to drink and then loosen up, and you know, you like don't work so hard. Like I'll say that shit on the mic, and it like creates almost like this, like you're just in a room with your friends.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest thing with me is always just being able to create an environment where it's like, look, this is just our party. Like whoever's in here, we're rocking. If you're not, like that's because you got your own situation.
Yeah.
But we're gonna set the vibes, play the right records at the right time, and build into moments. I think it's all about building into moments.
Yeah.
And you know, we live in a social media era where it's cool to be fun for 15 seconds, and after that, it's like like let me see what else is going on.
Exactly.
It's timeline. So you know, just build into the night and talk to them, and you know, communication.
Well,
I think you got to be willing to take a little bit of risk. You know what I mean? If you're working with a crowd that you're not sure how you're going to be able to keep them throughout the night, regardless if your set is 4 hours or if it's an hour and a half, you got to be willing to take risks. You know, if you can play what we consider typical shit, and if that's not going for you, you have to be able to take a risk and go to a different direction and see, okay, is this going to work? Is that going to work? You know what I mean? If you're a consistent working DJ, then you know, you have your little sets like we talked about in the last episode, you know, how you pre-plan certain sets and stuff like that. So you have little sets that you do often, which are different genres, different vibes, whatever. Yeah. And you have to be willing to take risks, you know what I mean? And then go from there. Okay, if this is not working, go somewhere else. And, you know, you keep fucking swinging until you hit, you know, and that's pretty much like how you get them. And then once you got them, you're like, okay, cool. Then, you know, I can stay here for a little bit. This is similar to that. I know they might vibe with this. Even if you get a third of the crowd to move as opposed to getting, you know, 3/4 of them to move. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, I got some of them to move. You know what I mean?
Right.
I got the dance floor to move, but the tables are not moving. But then I got the tables to move, but the dance floor is so much. Like that, it's going to fluctuate throughout your set.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Continuously. So you just have to, you have to have a better understanding as a DJ, you know, or I should say we should have a better understanding as DJs that it's going to fluctuate throughout your set. You know, there's going to be times where you got majority of your crowd hyped and they're going crazy and they're saying words. And obviously, you know, like you said, if we're playing for the ladies, the girls are going to be screaming and the fellas are going to kick back and just and enjoy watching this shit. You know what I mean? And there's be times there's going to be that little small set where you be like, all right, I'm going to do something for the fellas real quick. Yeah. You know, you don't stay in that too long.
Well, yeah. And you got to realize we live in a generation where people don't dance. No
they don't dance. Yeah.
So don't be
and the music isn't very dance friendly.
Yeah, exactly.
With the exception of some of like the hot girl stuff that's
don't be intimidated
the lack movement.
By the lack of movement.
Yeah.
Like I'm having a blast at the club if I'm just chilling. Like
exactly. You know what I mean? I'm not a dancer myself. I'm not going out there and I'm out there like going crazy and shit. Like I'm not in my head. If I'm not in my head and I'm enjoying the drink, I'm having a good fucking time. You know what I'm saying? I don't necessarily need to be out there waving my hands in the air like, oh shit.
Yeah. But if it was 2012, you'd be shuffling.
Man, I'd be shuffling. I'd be out there shuffling.
Rell's shuffling.
I'm shuffling.
Rell's got a shuffling game.
Hey, listen. But so yeah, I think you have to pay a little bit more attention to that. You know, just based off like, all right, cool. If I got some head nods, you know what I'm saying? If I got some head nods, if people are having conversations but they're still vibing, then you're pleasing your crowd. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You can't expect the festival shit. Yep. You can't expect people out there mosh pitting, you know, shuffling up dirt and shit like that. Like that's not your setting.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
two things. I'd say kill the volume when it comes to an obvious response from the crowd. You know, like I said before, what's my favorite word? Bitch, and then, okay, they're with me, do that. And what was my second thing? I think you can see other people. If people are having conversations while you're playing, then they're having a good time.
Yeah.
If they're standing there just looking cool as fuck, either they really trying to look cool as fuck or they're bored.
Bored, exactly.
But yeah, I think the big one is killing the volume while you're getting deeper into your set
and utilizing your mic.
And yeah. That again, you connect with the crowd, talk to them, and you control their energy.
Yeah.
By what you say on the mic. So, vibe. Don't force them. But vibe with them and get them to that point because it really starts with you.
Yeah.
All right. Next question. This was a lengthy one, so I'm gonna make it short as possible. This guy said he was
Sorry.
Oh. This guy said he travels about 5-6 hours to help set up a club. He's installed lights and wiring and done all these things for a club.
Mm-hmm.
And he also DJs there.
Okay.
And he became really close with the GM.
Okay. Cool.
Now they have a new GM. Okay.
Got it.
She understands what he has done for the club, but he feels like she doesn't value him like the old GM does. And this is costing money, obviously, drive 5-6 hours.
Yeah.
To do bookings for this club and to DJ and continue to keep the club, the music running.
Okay.
So he feels he's not getting the respect he deserves, and he's afraid, and he wants to ask for more money, because of his services. But he's afraid she's going to shoot him down or say, "No, we're good. We'll take it from here." Just completely cut him out. But he says, I do. I'm very picky about who I put in the club to DJ. Mm-hmm. So I take my job very serious. So
yeah.
So what would you guys? And he wants a raise, or he just wants more money.
Okay.
Like he said, he wants $150 a month, yeah. I don't know if it was per week or it's like a bar situation. I think maybe a month. I don't know, but 150
like
more to book DJ.
He's basically on salary.
Yeah, I think it sounds like it. Well, he wants the 150 to book the DJs. Okay. So that makes more sense than traveling.
I guess it depends where they're from.
Yeah.
Also, right?
Well, it's not in a major city.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the question would be like, how long has this new GM has been there?
Right.
I think you have to give this new GM some time to realize the amount of work that you put in for that venue.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The GM can't be there for a month, 2 months.
Yeah.
And then be aware of, this person does all these things. You know what I mean? Like the new GM is getting used to what the routine is, trying to implement some new things into making that venue more money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Bringing more people to that venue, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. So I think based off of, I'm assuming if you're saying this is a new GM, and I'm assuming that they only been there for a short period of time.
Right.
So I think you kind of have to give it a little bit of time. You know what I mean? Like, because now you're basing it off of the amount of time you've been there with the old GM.
Yeah.
So for you, you've been there for a couple of years. Yeah. But that GM is like, I'm only been here for a couple of months.
So give it time.
You kind of have to give it time.
And build a relationship.
I think it's unfortunate for that DJ. Yeah, it's unfortunate for you, but you have to understand that situation.
I mean, that happens all the time.
Exactly.
In nightlife, like things change.
Things change around all the time, and it's almost like you gotta kind of have to hit that reset button, and you're like, all right, cool. Well, now I gotta show this new GM the amount of work that I'm willing to do and how serious I take this job, and the impact that I bring to this venue.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I guess you just have to give it time, a little bit more time for that new GM to appreciate and realize and be aware of the amount of work that you put in.
This is all assumption. I mean, I used to be in that position back in the day with Infusion Lounge.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing for me was, and I went through 3 or 4 GMs. I think the thing that was really important to every single one of them was understanding your value.
Yep.
So like whoever you're bringing in, those guys should be able to say, man, like this person's really easy to work with. This person always puts me on, whatever. And if you show your value there, that's one thing. The second thing I always do is I'd break the ice with some sort of a gift. If it's a woman, might do an edible arrangement. If it's a male, you might see what their interest is and maybe, I don't know, get them like a freaking Starbucks gift card. I don't know, like something to break the ice that just lets you say, like, hey, look, like I know you're new, like we're working together, like something to connect with them. And just have that normal conversation, because obviously you're gonna have to have the business conversation.
Obviously.
And so I find that it's always easier to do things with people that you're like, oh, I could kind of see eye to eye with you on fucking my Starbucks order.
Exactly. I think in a sense you got to kind of be grateful too, because the new GM could have came in and cleaned house.
True.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that sounds like that's what he was concerned about, because he's like, even though he said he's cool with her, he like, he hasn't seen her react in a negative way, and he didn't want to be at the example.
Yeah.
And look, somebody, sorry to cut you off, but at the end of the day, in any situation, if you're going to get let go or fired or whatever, don't forget there's a blessing behind that door that can maybe somebody's down to pay you $250.
For real.
Everything in this industry is temporary at times. And I understand maybe that is a little more complicated in a smaller city, but at the end of the day, like opportunities come at the right time for a reason.
Yep.
Yeah. So I went back and forth in trying to give this guy advice, and from what I remember, because these are voice notes that I was sending him, I wasn't trying to text my 3-minute answer.
Nah, you ain't trying to get screenshot.
So my advice was like, from what I remember, what I basically told him was, look, send an email saying, this was my relationship before with the guy, with the previous GM, and and moving forward, this is, I'd like to be compensated for my services, because I take my job very seriously. Booking DJs and all that. I'd like to be compensated, plus a little bit of extra cash for the travel and all that. But I like $175. Maybe not. I didn't tell him word it like that, but basically I told him, just say that you want $175 for your services, and if that's too much, or it's just not within the club's, because I told him, sometimes the clubs are going through it, and they don't have that extra 175 or whatever, extra 100, to take care of you. And if that's that's the case, just tell, hey, just keep it 100 with me, like. It seems like the club's doing well. The numbers are good. And this is what I bring to the table. I like to be compensated for what I'm doing. I feel like I can take things to another level, yada, yada. So I'd like, 175. So he did that.
Yeah.
And he said what he got in return was, yes, we'll give you 150, which is what he originally wanted.
Yeah.
So I told him to go a little higher, because
obviously
you're going to want to meet you. It's not in the middle, but they're going to want to meet you somewhere.
They want to compromise a little bit.
So if you would have said 150, they probably would have said 125. Look, when you're negotiating, no one wins.
Exactly.
Well, and who has, at the end of the day, like, when you're the one that needs the money, or maybe not need, but are requesting, the leverage is on them.
For sure. Yeah. So, and then you'll find out in that moment, you'll find out what she's about, and what the club is about, and how they value you. And if they don't, then it's just, and you can, or you know what? I respect your decision. I got to keep it moving. I can't be of service because, for obvious reasons, but keep it open. I told them, if she were to say no, just say you're going to keep it moving. But if the opportunity comes up that you want me back, I'm open to the conversation, and let's talk.
Absolutely.
But it doesn't always have to be, that's it, I'm out. Like, in this business, you always leave doors open, because like Mike said, there's so much moving around.
Exactly.
Things change. So I'm glad it worked out for that guy.
Yeah.
Dealing with other DJs' attitudes, opinions on the club, management. But what do you guys? What's your reaction when you just got that very sour and salty DJ, and you're in a conversation when you're just like, dude, you are fucking, you hate life right now. Like, how do you guys react to these types of DJs? Because it seems like a lot of DJs are bitter.
Yeah.
On social media.
Yeah.
There's always something to talk about or complain about.
I feel you just have to be realistic to the fact that everyone's entitled to their opinion.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You get to choose what you do with these opinions. Like you were saying, everyone is responsible for their own manifestation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if if you are allowing someone else's opinion to affect who you are, that's your problem.
Mm-hmm.
That if that DJ wants to be negative or sour or whatever, let that DJ be negative and sour. That's not gonna fuck up my bag.
Yeah.
It's not gonna fuck up my day. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? You just kind of like, all right, just chalk it up. Cool. I don't need to interact with you much, so that it is what it is. You know, if you're a sour, if you feel like a DJ or a promoter or someone is, you know, if you got to just be cordial with them to get your bag, then be cordial and keep it pushing. And then that's what it is. You know what I mean? I just feel like you can't tell someone, you can't be like, yo, you fucked up. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. You know, we all have different opinions on different situations and scenarios.
Yeah.
So just be realistic to that and just don't allow it to fuck your shit up. You know what I mean? And keep it pushing.
Sometimes the best thing I ever said was nothing at all.
100%.
Like, you want to jump into the different conversations that go out there, people's opinions and whatever else, but at the end of the day, like, every individual has their own point of view and what they want to do and how they look at things. And, you know, I know old bitter DJs who want to complain about the young and the ones that are doing it, and I could be doing that. Well, you know what?
You ain't.
Everything that you're saying that you could, why aren't you? That's
Exactly.
on you.
Yeah.
That's not. And then anybody else, you know, on the other side of it, you know what I mean? Like, it's just point of view and it's perspective. Everybody has their own individual thing. And at the end of the day, go ahead. Have that. You could have that.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm going to focus on my race. And that's it. So
I think whether you don't care about this DJ or if you're close to him, I think you should just ask them why. Whatever they're saying, like, why do you feel this way? And just see what they say.
You mean it's like trying to get a better understanding?
Yeah,
of it?
just why do you feel this way? And you know what? Because it's toxic. It can be a toxic conversation. It's a toxic mindset. So like I said, if you care about them, you should probably help them understand or get through it. But if you don't care about me, you know, don't, like Mike said, stay quiet.
Yeah.
I'm for either, but if you want to help this person, give them some perspective, you know, help them hear themselves. When you say, why do you feel this way? They're going to complain. And then they're going to hear themselves like, yeah, but why would you look at it like that? And then they're going to complain. Okay, I get that. But what if you looked at it like from their perspective?
Yeah.
And then, you know what I'm saying? Like, they will eventually get it.
Plain devil.
And then you can tell them like, look, I'm not trying to like, I'm not calling you wrong. I just want to really understand where you're coming from. And, and, you know, maybe you should just see it different. If that's not, you know, maybe you look at it different, take a different approach because it seems like it's not working for you.
Yep.
So
who said the quote? Who said the quote? If you don't like something, either change it or change your attitude about it. I can't remember who quoted that, but something
sounds
that
accurate.
Yeah, you need to live by it.
I got a nice one here that says turntablism versus programming. Should one be sacrificed for the other? I think this is a good time to share that story that I told you about with a turntablist. So I was talking to another turntablist, and we're hanging out in the club, and he says, "Man, you know, what do you think about so and so?" I said, "He's dope. Love his stuff, love his routines and all that." He said, "Man, I vouched for him because he's one of my favorite DJs right now." And this guy, like this guy's word, who I'm talking to, let's call him DJ A. DJ A's word can go a long way for bookers because he's well respected. So he says, you know, I tried vouching for DJ B, the guy that we're talking about, and at least 7 bookers have told me this dude ain't, like, technically incredible. Programming,
not it.
Like not bad, but not. We wanted more. We were expecting more.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't know. Maybe they fell short on like we paid X amount for this guy. You know. So I'm talking to him. I'm like, really, this dude? He's like, yeah, man. Like, and it's crazy because I'm just confused. And I looked at the booker like, how? This guy's incredible. It seems like he gets it. I've heard him, and it just like I've heard this guy, but I haven't heard him in those spaces in, you know, where it's just random people. It's not like a DJ friendly situation, and it's not his backyard. And you know, maybe in those spaces you have to, or in any space, like end of the day, if people aren't coming to see you do some routines like Four Color Zach or Jay Espinoza, like you went to see some shit. When you saw Jay
Miles
and Miles. Jay, okay, if you're not going to see that, the DJ has to be aware of that. And just the way he was saying was like, give them the McDonald's menu. Don't try and do anything off the menu. Just give me the Big Mac. Give the club the Big Mac. You know, and we're actually watching Just Incredible in that moment. He's like, look what Justin's doing. He's giving them Big Macs. He's giving them a large order of fries. That's exactly what they want, and he's giving them to them. Nothing crazy. Just give them what they want. And so there's that fine line of, you know, if you're a guy that has routines, not even like a turntables, guys that have routines, you know, do I do the routine because this is what I'm known for? This is what I'm trying to be known for? Or do I just give them the Big Macs? And I think you really got to feel it out in that moment.
Yeah.
I pull back on a handful of routines because I'm like, no, just give them the Big Macs. Just give them what they know. You know, no need to get cute with it. Just give them what they know. And you know, there'll be a time and place for those routines or to start scratching or get creative with it. So I'd have to say just give them what they want and then figure out how you can work yourself into that.
Yeah.
Well, that goes back to like knowing your crowd, knowing your room, right?
Exactly.
Like,
for sure.
When you went to go see Jay and Miles at that venue, like there's a lot of DJs in the room. Like it could have been DJ reunion because people know that brand. People know the people that are, you kind of know what to expect.
Yeah, people went there specifically for that.
So people are going to appreciate and understand that. And then you explain that Jay didn't really go that route, like as hard.
Yeah.
Right? And so, which is perfectly fine because there's still a room full of people that want to vibe or dance and do whatever. And so in the sense of like, I know a good amount of like turntablist DJs or guys with routines. And we were just talking off camera, like, you know, a good friend of ours was just like, not complaining, but like pointing out that what was wrong with this person's, with another DJ set, in their opinion, was the lack of creativity.
Yep.
Specifically, he said, no wordplay, no like effort, no trick mixing. I think there's a huge difference between no effort and no tricks, no wordplay, right? Because in hot take, sure, wordplay is dead. Like in the sense of like the room you're in, like I get it, all the routines and the stuff that we put up online or guys put up online, and there's guys that are still doing it right.
Yeah.
But like the amount of level of people wanting to hear that in a venue or in a club, unless there's a historical.
Well, I don't think people ask for it.
Fuck no, they don't even know what it is.
Absolutely.
But I mean, it's a cool. You get cool points by somebody who understands what's going on.
Let's go see Jay Espinoza. His word plays are tight.
I snuck one in at Avenue just for the sake of it, and like, but
Shy,
like, huh?
The Shy.
No, that's just like sample on sample.
Yeah, I was about to say that's not.
I did. Try to call me out.
No, I wasn't calling you out. I was just seeing if I got it right.
In Dangerous World, YG, as soon as he starts his verse, goes, hey, bust it down, down, into Tatiana.
Got you.
Yeah.
Simple, but melodically, it just sounds good.
Yeah.
And so that's the only reason I even did it, because even if somebody caught it, all right, cool. They're like, oh, you actually did something.
That's two tracks that was different. Familiar.
But the Shy shit went over really well.
Yeah, it did.
And so, it's just like, I don't think people don't give a fuck about it. Like,
they don't. They just want to hear that shit.
And that's not going to be, before, that could have been a nice chunk of your set, but that's not what's going to separate someone from going, yo, he had a dope set, to not. There's other things that are going to become that factor. Yeah. And so when you're going into other venues or out of town, you just got to know the different parts of it. And the other argument we had on this story, just because we do know these DJs, is, and I'll say this because that person, DJ B, was being compared to Just Incredible. Mm-hmm. Just Incredible is a ray of sunshine when he's in a room. The man just has a likable personality. He's a great human being. Like, I have a tons of conversations with him all the time, just on some regular life shit. Yeah. And not to gas him up, right? But like, at the end of the day, like, I know how he is in the room. I've walked in the room with him. It's all smiles, it's handshakes and this and that. DJ B, I think it's literally walk straight to your turntables, plug in, go through routines, and read a little bit of the crowd. I'm not going to say he doesn't read the crowd. Yeah. But he's not shaking hands. He's not looking for the GM. He's not looking for the promoter. Yeah. He could care less who's popping bottles. Yeah. Because they understand, like, they have their artist They have their brand. But like I would recommend any DJ. Doesn't matter who you are. Like if you reflect your personality, shake everybody's hand, you don't know who's going to become who.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, I've definitely shook some hands of some security guards or a host, and they become the GM or even a vice president of the entire fucking company. So
100%.
You know, just a little advice.
Bro,
I don't think. Let me say this. I think you can. I think there could be some type of compromise to it. You know what I mean? I don't think if you're a turntablist that you're trying to you can take those routines that you have and still have your programming be top notch. Like you said, serve them those Big Macs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At the same time, still incorporating your turntablist style and still be able to give those Big Macs in there.
Good point, because I think if you want to get your turntablist rocks off, do it to extremely familiar stuff.
Exactly. You know,
why not? Why not
do
do it to This Is How We Do It Montel?
Exactly.
Or something like that the people will know. But at the same time, you don't want to get carried away because some people will be like, yo, just play the fucking song.
Just play the fucking song.
So it's definitely has to be some, or should be. Or do it at the end of the night when no one cares.
You know what I'm saying? If you're an opening DJ, you can do this shit all day and tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, but if you guys are headlining DJs and you guys want to incorporate it, I see it. Because I see guys like Scene who still do it. I see guys like Sprite that still do it. Sprite makes every fucking edit. He's cutting, he's doing all this shit.
Yeah.
But he's not taking away from, serving those Big Mac subs and playing the more familiar shit that his crowd is not taking away from his crowd, and his crowd is with him. They hear it, they love it, you know what I mean? They're going all that. So I know there's guys out there that are able to compromising their turntablist style and giving and still focusing on their programming and giving the crowd what they want. So I think, there's a happy medium to it.
Okay, next question. We've got two more since we are getting to that time. Where to go? When DJs look for a new booking, should they focus on a specific style? So the way I'm taking this question is, if I'm going to, let's say, I don't know, San Diego, do I reach out to clubs that cater to what I like to do, or do I just try and get in San Diego?
You got to stick to your brand.
Yeah.
In my opinion, if you want to be the most successful, like if you're just looking to fill up your calendar or like do whatever, but this also goes back to when it doesn't matter what city, but if you want to play at a certain venue, let's call it the peak venue, top 5, and then you get your foot in the door into like venue 11 or 10, right? Like, but that might put a ceiling or at least a speed bump to getting to the other venues by just holding off.
Yeah.
Right? Or they don't pay as much as they pay. But now the city knows kind of what you're rated.
Yeah.
Like, it just comes, I think you just got to stick to your guns, man. Like, and work your way up, Yeah.
I think in that scenario, there's also a compromise, man. Like Mike was saying, stick to your branding. At the end of the day, that's what you want, because that's what you want bookers, club owners, whoever, to know you as. Like, that is your brand. We know Dainjazone's brand. We know MikiWAR's branding. You want to stick to that, but at the same time, if a venue or a booker is they're known for a certain type of whatever vibe or anything like that, you still want to be able to deliver that.
Yeah.
You still want to prove that I can deliver what you're looking for at your venue.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? While still holding the integrity of your branding.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like, I think everything for the most part is some type of compromising. Going in there and being, listen, this is my branding, but I can still deliver what you're looking for. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think, like Mike said, if you want to just go out and just make a bunch of money and just spend it everywhere and anywhere, go do that. I think doing one style will get your foot in the door of that city, but while you're in that city, go meet the other club owners and promoters, and so they can get a vibe of who you are. And then in conversation, it'll come up with you saying, "No, I play this. I play house music too. Like, and if that's your brand, then that's what it is. You play everything.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean your brand is only EDM. That's all you can play, or you're only hip hop.
Yeah.
That's all you can play. So, I think if that's your goal is just to go out and spin everywhere, then do that. But if all you play is hip hop and that's what you love playing, that's what you want to do, then focus on that.
Yeah, you want to target the spots
and get to that. And then again, go to, let's say the city's not booking you yet. Go to that city or go to those venues and start to get chummy. Start to meet people and let them know who you are and what you're about, without forcing it on them.
Yeah.
But ultimately it's up to you because music changes. You know what I'm saying? Like music changes and being a hip hop DJ may not be the thing 2 years from now.
May not be.
You know what I mean? Like being a house producer DJ isn't the thing anymore. And those guys, like Chucky's a hip hop DJ now. I know he came up doing that stuff. And if you ever get a chance to hear a Chucky hip hop DJ set, it's actually really good.
Yeah.
But he was a hip hop. He came up. We knew him to be this EDM house, dirty Dutch guy. Mm-hmm. And he saw the change and he was like, oh no, I'm going with that because I actually like playing that music and I want to make that a part of my brand. And I want to keep my brand up and I want to make good money while I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Like this is who I am. I'm going to do it, you know? Tiesto's not going to go out and play in all hip hops. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he is.
He might. We never know.
I haven't heard it and I haven't heard of it.
Yeah.
But
he could hire a producer to do it.
He can hire a producer, yeah.
But
yeah, so, it just depends on what your focus is. And at the end of the day, no matter what, it really comes down to your relationship.
Yeah.
All right. So last question. Top 5 DJs, dead or alive?
I was dreading getting to this question.
I'm going to go first because I'll kind of set it for you guys.
All right.
So DJ AM is off the table because he should be everyone's, if not top.
He should be in the top 5.
Kind of set the tone for us.
That's fair.
That's fair. Okay, all on the same page.
We're all agree that.
So
my top 5.
I will.
In no specific order, though, right?
No specific order.
Doesn't have to be. So I'll say this.
I think he has an order.
No, I don't.
Okay.
When I first came up and after I started going to Vegas, this is like 08, 09, around 08. And I got to really see DJs, really flex their muscles and get out of LA. Mm-hmm. There were 5 DJs that I thought were the illest, like talking skill wise and just who I had saw. So at that time, and I'll still go out and see these guys if they're in town. Mm-hmm. Sprite, Scene, Presto, Melody, and there was one more that was 5.
Yes.
Yeah, 5 was up. And then from a programming standpoint, I would to this day, he doesn't DJ as much, but I used to love going to see Dave Fogg.
Oh yeah,
Dave Fogg would tell you what's going to be next. He told you trap was next. He told you twerk was next. He told you Afrobeats was next.
Bro.
Like Dave was on top of everything.
People sleep on Dave, man.
And I'm not saying that because he's my dad or anything, but that's what it is. That's my top.
Shit, man.
Chalk.
Sure.
So we're not taking
Easily.
a slot from AM. Like we're not putting in a slot for AM. Is what you're saying?
AM's off the table, so you still need 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so 5 after AM.
Yeah,
okay,
Chalk for sure. Melody. Believe it or not, and I
that's disrespectful.
With what?
Off the bat, believe it or not.
What you mean?
I mean, you got to set it up.
I'm saying this. So
like he ain't shit, but
I don't because I don't know if a lot of people know about him.
Oh, okay,
a lot of people later, and I'm saying this because again I don't know about him, and I don't personally know him like that. We've met each other here and there. Crooked from Vegas.
Oh yeah.
Crooked. Yo, I fucks with Crooked. He gets down, man.
Yeah.
5.
That's that New York shit. Right
and maybe that's what it is.
Yeah,
I think Crooked was one of the first DJs that I've heard in Vegas. Shout out to our brother D Miles. 5 was one of the first guys I heard in Vegas, and Crooked. And Crooked, like when we making it, obviously, like I think the sprites and the scenes, like I think those guys are givens. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But when I first heard Crooked, I was mind blown. I was like, oh shit! Like, and he was doing the smaller room at Tao.
Oh yeah, the opium room.
Yeah. I can't remember who was headlining in the main room at the time, but we were all there. I believe, if I'm not mistaken. We all were there, whatever. And that's when D Miles had a bunch of us staying at his crib and shit like that. And we went to go see Crooked, and I was like, yo, what the fuck, bro? And I was just mind blown. But yo, so Crooked has always been like one of my favorite guys to listen to. And XL.
Oh yeah,
Excel.
Yeah.
Boy, that was one of the biggest surprises of the MikiDz show because we didn't know anything about him.
Excel.
He just got vouched for heavily. We're like, all right, fuck it.
Man, Excel. That whole crew with like him, Impulse. And those guys like they just
their crew. Big Scratch Mechanics.
Scratch Mechanics. Yes. Those guys. They just their whole, like you were saying about Just Incredible, like their whole being real humble, cool ass dudes. Yeah. Their style is fucking phenomenal. Like I love the way they were doing it years ago. That's what I'm saying, man. And these guys that I feel like I listed are guys that have been doing this shit for years and are just, they love the craft, they love the art, you know what I mean? These are the guys that are traveling, they're incorporating, they're still doing the turntablist shit, but still serving up the Big Macs as Danger was saying. Yeah. Like these are those type of dudes that are out there still giving everybody what they want and, still keeping their branding intact and not just quote unquote selling out to whatever the wave is at the time.
Right.
So I would say
right on. Michael, end it with you.
It's such a tough list. I really don't. Because I was thinking about it when we were when the whole rap top 50. I was like, fuck, we should really do a top 50, top 20. If we did top 50 DJ, it'd be kind of crazy because then now you're really offending some people. Yeah, possibly. But like a top 5 does make it a little easier.
No, I think we should do a top 50. Let's offend some people.
All right,
let's ruffle some feathers.
We'll rock it. We'll throw it up.
Some feathers around
see
here.
if
We
DJ
want the
City will post it.
Right.
Who knows? But I would say for me, all right. So AM's like again, just he's off needing to pick someone. I'm gonna say Jazzy Jeff, for sure. Yeah. Is up there. 4 Color Zach.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then this is where it gets a little tricky because I would Mr. Chalk, I would throw in there for sure. Mellow D as well.
Absolutely.
So to the 5th slot is like there's so many dudes that inspired our upcoming.
Yeah.
I would in that slot, if I had to just call it a rotating honorable mention, I would say the Sprite, DJ Sprite, DJ XL, DJ 5.
It's too many, man.
Five, I love you, but you were. I'm gonna call him out. You were way tighter a couple years back, and I'm like, because I know you're dope. You're so dope. I'm just calling out.
Getting lazy?
I don't know, man.
He's eating good. He's eating good.
He's working out. He looks great.
Oh, so you're saying he was better when he was heavier?
Yeah, like
he didn't give
Jonah,
a fuck.
like Jonah Hill.
Now he's conscious.
He was funnier when he was
bigger. Same thing with Seth.
No, I'm just messing with you. No, I just like to give him shit. But no, he's super. 5 is like one of those dudes that still to this day, like he's DJing anywhere. Like, gotta go check him out.
Yeah, for sure.
And shit. D Miles, for me, is one of those dudes that
D Miles is
super
just so
slept
clean.
on.
Yeah, he's so clean.
He's and has always been on top of his selection game. And just for the sake of honorable mentions, current that I feel like could take those slots, I would give it up to like a Dre Sinatra or Just Incredible and guys like that are just, they got the voice. DJ Bad, like.
Yeah, Bad.
It's hard, man. It's hard to like give like a
Butch.
top 5. I mean, Butch is fucking great. Yeah. Like that's where it's like maybe a top 50.
That's what I'm saying. We gotta do a top 50, man.
Because the 5th one, it just comes.
Are we gonna put ourselves in the top 50?
Inspired.
I'm putting myself in the fucking top 50. Fuck that.
Yeah.
I don't really
do I make your top 50?
Really
Absolutely. That's what I was getting ready to say. How come none of us put each other in our top 5s?
Probably because we're sick of each other.
Yeah, that's true.
Because we don't want to give each other egos. Like he's confident. He's good. He's good. He's in a happy relationship. Yeah. They don't need any more confidence. They're good.
I'll listen to Row before Danger.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Exactly.
Talk shit.
Oh man!
But I love you equally.
I don't care what you gotta say. What's up, Ralph?
Wrap this shit up.
That was a good talk. Guys, please continue giving us your questions.
Yeah, we're gonna do every episode. We'll do a question episode, but
every 10 episodes,
we'll
spend on just answering the questions, and you guys keep sending them in. You know what I mean? We were a little light this week, huh?
With what?
With the questions?
No, we
No?
still had more than
Nah, we had a lot.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
I mean, I got a lot of questions. So shout out to all those people
I'm still holding on to a couple of
slid in
questions.
my
So
DM for
trust
that.
me, guys, if we haven't gotten to your questions now, we will get to them at some point. Please be patient with us. A lot of people are hitting us up. So, but keep sending them in.
And send some smoke.
Send some smoke.
Send some smoke.
Send us what you don't like.
Some
you know
smoke
what I mean?
signals.
Don't just send the smoke because we're saying send the smoke. Send some,
No, we love the constructive criticism.
Yeah.
Thank you. Please, most importantly though, screenshot, share,
Yes.
tag us.
Tag all of us.
All of us.
Especially you IE motherfuckers.
Don't want to Sammy Sam.
Oh.
Yeah, to correct him. He goes, "Oh, my bad," and I was like, "Yeah, it's all good. That's why I'm here." But whatever. But make sure to tag us all, and we're gonna show you guys some love. And,
absolutely.
Repost.
We try to repost everybody.
Repost everybody, and thank you guys for tuning in. We went pretty long on this episode, but for good reason. Thanks for tuning in. This was episode 10.
Yes.
Yes.
So we'll catch you guys in the next one.
Peace.